All right. That's boring.
No,
That was terrible. I was like tired. I was still thinking what I wanted to say. All right. Yeah, welcome. So OTAs are starting again. What does OTA stand for? You in Nebraska. Yes. Organized team activities. And they are optional. I'm Doc Beisel, orthopedic surgeon with Move Smarter Health. We are sponsored by an educational grant from Kinesi Movement. I love sports. I love talking about injuries. I take care of shoulder and knee injuries, and I operate and treat on them. And please consider this an educational, informative video only. Here we go. We all talk about OTAs, right? And OTA in orthopedics is the Orthopedic Trauma Association. Little plug out for the Orthopedic Trauma Association, orthopedics, yay! But that's not what OTA is to football fans and to the NFL. It's organized team activities which are optional, and guess who's gonna be back? You like that dance? No. Patrick Mahomes, he's coming. He's gonna be there. He's gonna participate. Now, what does that mean? Now, just a recap. What injury did Patrick Mahomes have? Like those sound effects, Joey? Yeah. Okay. All right. See, you didn't even have to spend money on cartoonifying it. So Patrick Mahomes suffered ACL, LCL tear in his left knee. Now he's right-handed thrower, so that means putting a lot of stress on that left knee when he throws. I mean, he's definitely leaning on his right knee, but when he's twisting, it's like you really got to stabilize with that left knee. So, is he good to go? I don't know. Is he healthy enough to play? Well, he's almost 6 months. He's about 6 months, right? December, now we're into almost June, so that's right at the point where you would release them full contact in the NFL. Now, I personally wouldn't release a player that quickly. It all depended on his outcomes, his function, how he's doing, how he's recovering, is he jogging, cutting, how's his strength. There's we use this is he 80% or 90% of his strength to the other side? But what does that mean? Because you often have atrophy on one side versus the other. A lot of hockey players and pro football players, they still don't feel confident in their knee until the 2-year mark after an ACL, and he had an ACL and LCL. Shall I keep rambling? Why not? So, will he actively engage and participate? Well, it's optional. So if I were him, I would just do a light jog, see how it feels, do a couple of throws, don't do any crazy throws. I would definitely avoid contact. I'm pretty sure they don't do any contact with training. But in the OTA, is there going to be contact? You never know. Anything can happen, right? So I personally, if it were an athlete of mine that I treated, I would recommend to dissuade him from doing any type of aggressive moves or activities. But that's just my opinion. But if his recovery and functional scores and outcomes and everything, according to his team, trainer, coach, physician, are all going well and expected, then great. Let's see him play. But there's a lot we don't know. We'll find out. But even then, why risk it in an optional team activity, right? If that's your knee, you're not a volunteer. You're not just playing for fun. Yeah, he's playing for fun. He loves football, but he is getting paid for it. He just lost a year, well, not a year, but he lost a season. And they weren't even doing that well. So maybe he comes back, stronger, powerful, faster. Who knows? Anything is possible. So let's see. What do we got? What questions do we have?
At 6 months, what can he do?
Oh, at 6 months, if you go by the traditional gold standard, bone on bone, reconstruction, solid, healed, and he progresses well with his rehab protocol. That's a graded progressive functional protocol, then he could technically, if he meets all his milestones and he had the, gold standard surgery, bone on bone autograft, then he should be able to return back at 6 months. So is there any limitations technically on paper if everything goes perfectly well? Not really, right? But as we know, as human beings, nothing is quite like it is on paper, right? Everyone's different. The mindset, we've talked about this before, people have written books on it, the athlete mindset. Are you confident enough to play? Do you know that how you feel is converting into the mechanics of the knee that you can see on numbers and an analysis and analytics that you can then convert into how you tune your game and your play and your motion. And that is sort of still somewhat scattered and disconnected right now. But if he can do that and he's a super athlete, then yeah, let's get him back. Let's see him play and let's see him lose another season. Oops. Yeah, that was for you, Casey. Oh, they're going to get some haters out there. Yeah. Or nothing. It'll eat. I love how sometimes it's kind of like something like explosive and that we talk about and it gets nothing. Crickets. And then something that you don't expect, boom! You get like everyone responding, people commenting on my shirt. See, this is a bland shirt, but it's pretty high tech actually. Yeah, it's got pockets everywhere and yeah. Water repellent, fire retardant, it's pretty good. So anyway, yeah, it's one of those high tech fabrics that found in Europe somewhere a couple of years ago. What? Let's test it. Actually, you should cartoonify that. Oh my gosh. All right. So basically what it comes down to, let's see how he plays. I'm looking forward to it. I think, he's a missing component and who knows? I mean, he may have had a bad season for whatever reason. And this year he makes a comeback. We've seen it in athletes before. So here's well wishes going out to you, Patrick Mahomes, and see you on the field. Not me, literally, because I'm not going to be there on the field, but I'll be watching you. You'll see me. It's a two-way camera. I don't know if you realize that. We can actually see each other through the lens, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah, the kid in Florida agrees in Miami. All right, next time.